So this summer, I was able to spend 1 week in the city that never sleeps, also known as New York. My week was filled with watching Broadway shows, seeing famous landmarks, and just experiencing the city overall. There was never one day that I had nothing to do or see or I was bored. So today I want to explain to you why New York is the #1 tourist spot. If you're ever thinking of a place to travel, New York has something for everyone to enjoy. From their entertainment, seeing landmarks, and just overall city life, there's something for everyone to enjoy. So walking around the streets is fun in itself. There's bright lights everywhere, and there's a theater on almost every street. So I don't know about you, but I'm a big fan of musicals. So when I hear New York, I automatically think of Broadway. And Broadway is very popular in New York simply because of their wide variety of shows. So from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Matilda, Book of Mormon, and I'm sure most of you have heard of Hamilton, there's a show suitable for almost any age group. According to the Broadway League, over 13 million people have come to watch a show in New York for this Broadway season for 2016 through 17. Another reason why these shows are so popular is simply because of the people who are starring in them. So for example, I was able to watch 4 shows: Wicked, Phantom of the Opera, School of Rock, and Waitress. And at that time, Waitress was starring Sarah Bareilles, who is a famous singer, and she also created the music and lyrics for the show. So as a result, many people wanted to come and watch her perform in it. Another thing you can do is after the show is done, you can wait by the stage door, and you can wait for them to come out, and they can take pictures with you and sign your program. So I wasn't able to do that personally, but this is a picture of my friends, and they were able to meet Andrew Keenan Bolger, who was a star in Newsies and Tuck Everlasting. And then that is a picture of my friend with her playbill, and it has autographs from the whole cast of Tuck Everlasting. So another aspect that New York is famous for is their landmarks. Obviously, we've all heard of the Statue of Liberty that can be seen from Battery Park, or you can take a ferry to see it up close. There's also Little Italy, Chinatown, Central Park, and the world-famous Empire State Building. The Empire State Building is a famous attraction for tourists. According to the World Federation of Great Towers, over 3 million people a year come to visit just to experience the view of the city from the 86th and 102nd floor. So New York is also a setting for many popular TV shows and films such as Elf, Friends, Gossip Girl, How I Met Your Mother. So for example, I feel like moments in the TV shows kind of create landmarks in real life. So in the show How I Met Your Mother, they always go to the bar called McLaren's. And so in New York, on 55th Street, there is a bar that is inspired by the show, and it's called McGee's. And so they have a bunch of drinks that are inspired by references to the show. So this is a very popular attraction. So lastly, I want to explain the overall city life and how that can be enjoyable. So Times Square is one of the busiest places in New York. There's people walking up and down the streets at all hours of the day, hence the city that never sleeps. So according to the Times Square official website, over 330,000 people walk the streets every day, adding up to 55 million per year. So there are so many retail stores and shopping stores like Forever 21, H&M, Sephora, and their higher end stores like Louis Vuitton, Tiffany's. These are all great spots if you enjoy shopping, just browsing in stores. And then there are also so many different restaurants, ranging from fancy food restaurants to a simple hot dog cart on the street corner. So when I visited, I know my dad really wanted to try the New York hot dog that you see in the movies. But personally, I really was excited to discover new dessert places. So as a result, I went on Pinterest and I looked up popular food attractions. And so I found this place that is called Schmackery's, and it is a cookie place. And it's famous because they have this thing that's called Broadway Bakes. So occasionally a cast from a Broadway show will come and work there in order to raise money for foundations and charities. So here there's the cast of Newsies, and then those are kind of what they sell. So unfortunately, when I went, this wasn't happening, but there was still a long line at the door. But the scent of cookies kind of made that wait bearable. So in conclusion, New York has something for everyone to enjoy, making it the #1 tourist spot.
You can turn it off since we don't have any other speakers. Wait, you're not doing a prepared speech, are you?
No.
Impromptu? Okay, good. There you go, you just turn it off. Thank you. All right, Ashley. I like the personal story that you're telling, and that's a pretty good attention device. If there was something more particular that stuck out that would be exciting or interesting, like one of the plays that you saw, I think that might have been a good way to focus it a little bit more. But that's a mild kind of suggestion. As it was, I thought it worked fine. You have a very clear thesis statement at the beginning of the presentation. I didn't really hear a preview in your argument or in your presentation, and that was the one thing that sticks out that I think was mildly problematic. But it was very well organized because I could pick out the things that you were talking about. You had clear transitions between those points. I think sometimes the transitions could be a little bit smoother, but it was easy to follow what you were talking about. So that was good. And I thought the content was excellent. You had some supporting material for each of those minor points that you were talking about. Some research had been done. I appreciated that. The delivery of it was very solid. It seems strange that you're kind of off to the side there when you're not using the screen. You know, when you're using the screen, I can understand why you would be off to the side. But before that, I think you would need to be kind of closer to us, maybe. I mean, looking at the audience, I would say maybe even right over there. You don't have to be right in front of me, but, you know, kind of closer to the audience and in the center so that you are more engaged. And then step back when you're using the pictures. So those are the minor things. Everything else I thought was really solid. Your gestures, there's lots of audience or lots of indicators in the presentation. Your facial expressions and eye contact, you look around constantly. You seem very engaged when you're talking to us. I thought the pictures were fine. They were well integrated into the presentation. You did a good job there. On the vocal paralinguistic issues, the only thing that I would suggest is maybe projecting a little bit more. I think you maybe need to raise your voice a little bit, but there's lots of inflection in your voice, and I like the pace of it really well. I thought that you kind of talked about it in a very naturalistic way, but still with purpose, and I appreciate that. I didn't see any anxiety issues. The closest would be just standing off to the side there, and I didn't really think that was an indicator of anxiety. That was just kind of like an unconscious thing that you're doing in that situation. So that's a good start, and I hope that everybody does as well. All right, there you go.